Hello and welcome to our first of the new year Audio Heads podcast with Geeks Assembled. It's Lee and me, and we are geeks and we are assembled here, and we have audio drama from Big Finish to discuss. This time I have the CD actually. It's for Susan's
Ooh.
War. Doo-doo-doo.
Susan, doesn't it feel great just to hold that in your hand?
Kinda. Yeah, yeah. You
Yeah,
are kind of right about
not
that.
none
Yeah.
of this, none of this download shit.
Oh, come on. Mostly that's okay, but this one's got like cool pictures
Yeah.
and some casts that I could read off. I can read off here.
Yeah.
Yes, there it is. Please leave your cast list out and we will go to this.
Mm.
Um 3 years ago, I think 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Uh,
Uh,
3 years ago, 2020.
yeah, 3 years ago, this thing was created and produced and then turned out and directed by Lisa Bowerman, who is
Mhm.
uh precious and beloved in my eyes. And she's been through the ringer since this was done. She's lost her husband, and yeah, and then they did the lockdown and stuff. So I mean, like, what are you gonna do? Oh man, like, and I tell you, when I saw the first pictures from this, the height pictures of Carol Ann and William Russell walking into Big Finish from the back, I went out of my mind. I was like, "Yeah, give me." And I loved it. I loved it, and I loved it. And so I love this four-part story. It is really, really good. And it shows a lot. Okay. Like, a lot of the time, like in science fiction, you don't expect your characters to really have all that significant a growth cycle. This is where she goes from being not only being a daughter of Gallifrey, a child, in the care of the doctor, but moving through her adolescence and into her adulthood with like all of this compassion for Earth, compassion more than the doctor had. She stayed there for years, for decades, as she raised a family, as she invested her time, and eventually, because of what she was doing, she was investing her money in, and she was rebuilding from Dalek's problems, and she really became sort of a point person, an excellent, you know, cogitator, and strategic uh, planner for war against the Dalek.
Mhm.
And so all of that to be said, this is sweet. It's got a lot of guts in it. There's a lot of stuff in it. And Lee, what are your opening thoughts, please?
Um, well, to be honest, I am getting a bit fed up with all the Time War stuff
Uh-huh.
nowadays,
Okay, okay.
because it
But
has gone on and on and on, and they don't seem to be getting anywhere with it.
okay.
But this takes a different angle. It's not Gallifrey, the Time War sets. It's not Gallifrey, the War Room sets. This is, it's called, the box set is called Time War, Susan's War,
Hmm.
and this is where she's seconded by the Time Lords to get involved, because her grandfather won't do this.
I know.
So the next best thing is to get hold of his granddaughter.
Hmm.
Uh, so to become was it an emissary for Gallifrey, an ambassador, and try and get other people involved on the Time Lord's side against the Daleks, of course.
Yeah.
So she's sent out to different places to, just to say try and rally the troops, sort of thing. For different types of story in this box set.
Yeah.
You've got the return of William Russell as Ian Chesterton in the first story. You had to have him in the first story as well. Also, you've got the Sensorites in this story, so you're feeling, oh, this is so classic era. You get that feel. You've got Susan, you've got Ian, you've got the Sensorites. Great drama. And I don't think it's this one, but I'm sure there was another audio where they did say the Sensorites and the Ood are related.
No, that was on the telly. That was in the
I'm sure it's been
that was when Donna and the Doctor were on the Ood planet because it was
right.
nearby the
Well,
Sunsphere.
I think it's been mentioned in audios as well.
Very well, maybe, but the primary.
I remember that far back.
Okay. Cool.
But yeah, so you've got all the classic feel about this story, and the uncertainty of what's going on in this one. That the sphere of influence, it's called.
Mm-hmm.
And she's Susan's trying to trying to gain the Sensorites' trust,
Hmm.
but there's something else going on behind the scenes.
Definitely.
Definitely, but it's really nice to get William Russell back as Ian Chester. I think this was the last, because I'm trying to think now. This might have been the last audio he's appeared in, up to date.
Uh-huh.
I think I can't remember if he's done any more since that one, but he's not getting any younger, of course.
Oh.
I think he'd be what is he? Is he 100 this coming year?
Uh-huh.
So yeah, so then you get the second story of called The Uncertain Shore, where Susan goes to, what's the name of the planet? It's down here somewhere. Floriana, which
Oh yeah, and that's where they'd been before.
yeah, apparently they've been there before. With this is with they're after a double agent spy
Uh-huh.
on this planet, searching for that. Very Bond-esque.
Very, yeah.
Very. Um, so yeah,
Or
so they've got Susan sort of out of her safety zone,
uh-huh.
because we only knew Susan from being a little teenage girl, well, teenager, uh, being under the wing of the Doctor, sort of thing, the care of the Doctor. This is where she's out of her element, and she's put first forefront into all the action, which it's great.
Yeah.
Um,
This
and
is like a decent counterpoint just to like fold, like make a fold with this. This is a decent counterpoint to the Unbound adventure with Susan being the Lord High President of the Time Lord Council,
yeah,
the Council of the Time Lords. So I mean, in this, she's a fiscal leader, a political leader, military, trying not to be military, but a military leader. And
yeah.
in that, I mean, it kind of mirrors that really well. Anyway, so I'm sorry for interrupting.
Then the third story, Assets of War. This is where they'll go to a planet where these scientists have been experimenting on these creatures to enhance them for the war. what's the creatures called? Is it the Eurovix? But and they said that there's a twist and turn in that story where they're just making creatures just like the Daleks,
Yes.
uncontrollable. So they're no better than the Skaro thugs, are they? And I think it's this one as well. This story, I think it's this story where she's acting alongside her grandson.
Um, you mean Carol Ann Ford and her
Yeah,
Carol Ann
yeah,
Ford's grandson?
yeah.
Yes,
Roly Botha. Oh,
as
she must be
Resnick,
as Rennis.
Rennis, not Resnick, Rennis. Yeah.
Actually, we won't say he or she because they are known as they and them. Roly Botha. So for the gender fluid,
Cool.
yeah, yeah. So it's great to see hear their where they work together.
I know. Oh my gosh. That was
You know,
awesome. That was really cool.
yeah. 'Cause it turns out that he's not what he should be in this story. So,
Rennis
uh,
isn't, yeah.
and then the final story, the Shoreditch Intervention. We go back to 1963, London, where it all began. Which it's great because you've got the first Doctor and Susan at that time there. You've got the seventh Doctor and
And
Eighth
Ace.
that term there with the Hand of Omega, and it's all about the Hand of Omega again in this.
Uh-huh. It is.
But we've also got the Eighth Doctor here,
Uh-huh.
which
And
is
just as a nondescript sarcophagus.
yes, but it's a great how they intertwine those stories and try and each one's like missing each other, so they're all there in that same time period, but they're they're like boats crossing in the night, so you don't.
Yeah.
But yeah, you do get and it's great. I do like the setting of London mods and rockers.
Yeah.
In this, and you get the Dalek control under Dalek control, and you get the Eighth Doctor and Susan back together again because they worked so well before in other audios.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a good solid box set. This
Yeah.
it four story. I mean, usually you get one story where you go, it's not as good as the other three, but each story here is a solid story,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what So I wasn't disappointed with that, and also as well, I can't remember which story it was. Was it? I think it was story two, the Uncertain Show. We get Ogrons,
No. Because
Robo
it's
Robo
voiced by
Robo Ogrons.
yeah, Robogrons, yeah.
Yeah. So I do like a good Ogron story. We don't seem to get enough of them in Big Finish. Big Finish, Nicholas Briggs, if you're listening, can we have some more Ogron stories, please?
Yeah, please. That would be great.
Even without Daleks, just some Ogron stories. So
Yeah.
yeah, so that's my take on the box set, Susan. So over to you.
Yeah, the Ogron was one of them was played by Dan Starkey, and
Yeah.
you know, uh there was a lot of like the thought that went into it when he put the when he made sort of a character choice about this, because the Ogron had been played earlier
Hmm.
as like a doctor, like a doctor regeneration kind of thing.
Yeah,
I think it's called, I can't remember what it was called. Dr. Ogron.
something
Oh,
like that.
yeah, anyway. So yeah, Dan was like saying he was gonna take sort of that sophistication of Ogron and like make it happen because there's a little bit more sophistication, and that's what they were trying to do. They were trying to grow these characters from classic Who into like more sophisticated, like the Sensorites and the Ogrons. Just give them more, more to do. I know that the Sensorites were really political animals
Hmm.
in the 60s. Boy, it was like, House of Cards kind of thing that was going on with like them playing off each other and stuff. And then there was like this whole idea of them being something like that due to their ability to read minds, they were actually able to track the Daleks and stuff. And so the Daleks just really wanted to use them and stuff. The Daleks really, they had this, um, they had um, those other creatures, those were used to really break basically break the heart because they were being sort of tortured and stuff,
Yeah.
and they were they were kind of like the weapons. And there's always been that sort of discussion on whether or not, you know coming near to the doctor makes you necessarily a weaponized person, because the doctor is always fighting evil
Hmm.
wherever, because of the nature of science fiction and where it's taken. There's always that discussion about whether or not his companions are weaponized, but this is like an actual, like, the Daleks are actually doing something to the people surrounding them, and then this is like the Time Lord's version of that.
Hmm.
Again, it's like a mirror effect, and so I just like that everything was kind of like in mirrors. And in the Shoreditch intervention, there's enough stuff that was like, I mean, you even got the River Song stuff that she would bring through the timelines of the Doctor, as revealed in this. But Susan, having been there through one, two, three, four, and five, and then six and seven in Dimensions of Time, and then eight, and then, you know, uh, that's really where her experience with the Doctor ends. She doesn't really come into New Who yet,
Not yet.
except for in photo form.
Hmm.
And so, but I have heard some spoilers about the. Anyway, I just thought I've heard spoilers, but I've also heard things like, I heard that it was going to be done in the 60th, and it wasn't. I've seen all three of those, and it wasn't done then. It wasn't in the last one. It wasn't in the one before, and it wasn't in the one before that.
Hmm.
Oh, I was sad. But I'm always sad because Carol Ann Ford is Faye. He
I,
really
th-
is.
I think they should. I mean, Big Finish have really used her well in the past for
Uh-huh.
story wise. but I don't think they've used her enough.
No,
I mean,
agreed. 100%.
I know she's not getting any younger. She, and maybe she can't get down to the studios like all these young actors can. But I wish they would just use her a little bit more. It's like William Russell. I know he's not getting any younger, and it's hard for these actors. Tom Baker, he's what is he? Well,
94.
he'll be 90 or so in a few weeks' time. He records all his stuff from home now, I think.
Yeah, well, I mean they do, don't they?
Yeah,
And they had to during the pandemic,
yeah,
and
yeah.
there was a lot of that
Because if you
for
get
freedom that the pandemic presented to people with
yeah,
disabilities and people with different you know, age related abilities
yeah.
as well. So it
Yeah,
just
you find travel difficult when you do get older.
mhm,
And
true.
you get stuck in your ways as well. That you think, oh, I can't be. I'm going to stay. I can't be bothered to go all the way down there and record this.
Right. Right.
So if they could, if they could sort things out on a little recording thing at home for them,
Yeah.
I'm sure they could use Caroline Ford even more. It's like oh, what's the Atlala Ward?
Yeah.
They haven't used her for nearly.
For a long time. And that's tragic because the other lady who they used for Romana was like for a split second they used this other actress as Romana 3, but
Yeah.
then Lala went, "Stop. I'm still here. Use me." And now they're not doing anything with her.
Well, Lala Ward moved to Hong Kong.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, but I'm sure she could do
Yeah, I
as a
mean, build a
record.
studio
Yeah,
in your under your stairs, in your cupboard.
but if not, bring Romana 3 back because I'm sure. What's her name?
Julie Landau?
Landau
Juliet Landau.
would jump at the chance to become Romana again.
Right, I agree. But we haven't had a regeneration of Susan, and Susan has done a lot. I mean, you can see her character growth in this. The fact that they've given her a TARDIS, the fact that
Yeah,
they've that's what I mean. In this, it really does mirror her as the Lord High President of the Time Lord Council. Um, you know that this hand she's showing up as a leader, as a activist for alien rights, as an activist for people, for human rights, but also for the rights of these creatures who were created. So I mean, she's got activism, and then she's also got, and that's really, it really is a political statement that she's making there, about the integrity of species and like the need for a holistic approach to things, and like it, it really, she really has uh so much to offer. You know, and she is such a cool character. And she
yeah.
really was really weird, like alien. I mean, you could just see how strange her fellow students
She really
thought of
was.
her
She
back
really was.
then.
Yeah, unearthly.
Yeah. I mean, they were laughing at her as they left the classroom. But, I just thought that, she was brilliant. She was like Spock to me. I
Yeah,
mean, it was that kind of, oh my gosh, this is an alien and she's weird and I know that she thinks just like me, that kind of thing. That's what it does to someone who's as weird as I am. And I just want you to know that,
And also as well, I'd like to say a lot of people say about Doctor Who past that they never had strong female. Yes, they did.
Uh-huh.
They did. In every year that it went by, they had strong female characters.
Susan and Barbara, they could have been besties. They were in fact sort of besties. And Carol Ann was all like, yeah, I could have really had Susan all over Ian,
Mm,
but
yeah, I
the
just don't.
writers wanted Barbara for Ian, so I was sort of
I
angled
just,
away from
yeah,
him all the time.
I just don't know where when people say they had, no strong female characters. I think they're talking a load of rubbish, to be honest. They had they've Doctor Who classic era created tons of strong female characters. Sarah
Yeah,
Jane, Leela, Romana, Polly,
Vicky,
Vicky, Liz Shaw. They were
Liz
all
Shaw,
strong
yeah.
female. Ace.
Ace, oh my gosh.
Yeah, they were
I mean,
so strong.
Ace was so cool that they brought her to Gallifrey and they trained her up as a Time Lord.
Yeah.
I mean, you just stick her near the hand of Omega for 20 minutes and boom, she becomes a time lady.
I think
And then
most people.
there's and then there's like, you know, all the people that ended up going back and trying to reason with all these old doctors. That
Yeah, I just find these people who say things like that are talking out the top of the hat.
uh-huh.
Um,
Sure.
but another good thing about this box set, because me and Daleks don't see eye to eye, Stoke,
At all, right?
and they don't overplay the Daleks in this.
No,
It's they don't oversaturate with Dalek.
no, they don't.
That's the way to do Dalek stories.
Uh-huh. And Nicholas Briggs he was actually played one of the Teddy Boys rockers, I don't know, like the
Yeah.
greasers.
Also,
Greasers. That's what they called them, greasers.
the mod rockers. Yeah.
No,
Um,
no. Was it a mod or was it one of the greasers? I think Nicholas Briggs played one of the greasers.
it was mods and rockers we had. Mods and rockers.
Should I just
Great.
think of this in terms of American?
Yeah, you might have had greasers in America. Did you have
Oh
greasers in
my
America?
God, yes. Oh, Jesus. I did the instant British translation. That's pretty sad.
But
Oh, I'm sorry.
also as well, I've noticed we've got Louis Davison in this as,
Yeah.
as Franco in the last in the Shoreditch intervention. Now he's got a certain famous dad.
Is he Peter's son?
Yeah, and guess what? I went to a convention back in the day, and it
Yeah.
was the same year that Louis was born.
Oh, nice.
Peter mentioned it in his convention chat on stage.
Oh, cool.
His newborn Louis. So,
Yeah, so I mean, because there's so many good things about this, and Beth Chalmers again, here
oh,
is Veclin, a commander. She's gone from just kind of hanging on, a hanger on in the Gallifrey and all those other ones, to being like sort of a soldier spy, to being a
yeah.
real military statesperson. I think
But
I think Veclin is great. I think that was really fun. I know that that she adds a lot to this. She adds a lot, and yeah,
it's an ensemble cast, really. I mean, you see, you've mentioned
yes,
Beth. We've got Damien Lynch as Rasmus. Um, you've got Hugh Fraser in here as well. Hugh Fraser is a well-known English actor. I don't know if you know him. He's best known for playing Captain Hastings alongside David Suchet's Poirot.
Oh, okay. Yeah, all
He's,
right. I didn't know who you're talking about.
you've even got Ian Brooker in here. He's a great voice actor. The Big Finish often use him.
Huh.
Trudy Goodwin. She used to be in a film in a TV series over in the UK called The Bill. I don't know if you've heard of that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, she played a main character in The Bill for several years.
Yeah, the bill was the bill is one where Nicholas Courtney played a really awful doctor, a doctor who was like, had a head count
Oh, cool.
and was in jail. And like that's why he was banged up on charges for being a fucking evil doctor. That was fun.
Great, great. Isn't it? So yeah, so you've got some great actors in here, and it all gels together so well.
And Rolly Botha
Yeah,
as
as
has an appearance. I mean, like that's fun. Like the fact that Carol Ann's daughter does she writes books and then she narrates them, and she does all these little these other side projects as a voice actress. And then you know her her offspring
Mhm.
Rolly is just fantastic too.
Yeah, it sounded great.
They have this nugget of groovy acting that is
Mm.
like being passed down from one generation to another.
And just to put the cherry on top of the cake, you get Paul McGann.
I know it's true. And a little like what did you say? Oh my god, you said it. There was a little bit of the David Bradley bit
Yeah,
from the show
yeah,
from Twice Upon a Time or something, was it? Yeah,
yeah. It might have been, yeah.
fantastic. Jesus, this is such a good piece. I love it.
And yeah, but this is the only box set they've done.
I know. Gotta do more, guys. Come on. Do more. Susan is perfect. This is perfect. She is perfect. Perfect. Fellows, you have to do something with her. She's so amazing. Ah,
And I'd just like to say that our Susan is quite insane.
just just because I love my Susan Foreman, and I love my Brigadier, and I love this crazy ass show called Doctor Who.
Well, talking of our crazy show called Doctor Who, I would just like to mention um, our condolences,
Oh, to Richard Franklin. Oh my
yeah,
God.
to Franklin's family. Yeah,
Oh,
passed away on Christmas Day.
so sad. Oh my gosh, what a terrible.
Been ill for some time, hasn't he? And
Yeah,
Big Finish used him when they can or could, should we say?
yeah.
So he's been in a few audios for the company. So just want to send condolences to his family.
For the Franklin family.
Forever, Captain Yates.
Yeah.
He's got, he's got, he's gone to, he's gone for a pound with the Brigadier.
Oh,
So
oh.
I
And
just
he
thought that,
was and and he was one of the ones who had started, doing the crossover of actually making the crossover from Doctor Who to Star Wars to Star Trek. I mean, he was being thought of for Star Trek, but he got sick.
yeah, I'd been in, was it Star Wars, Blake 7.
Blake
He,
Seven, yeah, he was
yeah,
in.
so
He wasn't. He was a franchise uh player, but the Captain Yates character was
Well, I'll always have this memory of Richard Franklin at a convention in the 90s. He was on stage wearing a pink wig, a long green coat, and just dropping his trousers. Um,
What? Oh, far
it,
out.
it was cabaret night, and that was his act.
Oh, matron.
He did have some pants on.
Oh, sure he did.
Yeah, that was the same night that John Nathan Turner did his magic tricks with Lisa Bowman as his glamorous assistant.
Oh,
So
amazing.
we had fun
Ah,
then.
so
But yeah, R.I.P. Richard Franklin. Uh,
yeah, that's sad. And, oh, man.
great days.
So the only one that's left right now is John Levine
Katie Manning
and Katie Manning. That's it
from the unit days. Yeah,
from the Unit days.
yeah.
Hmm.
Just those two.
Oh boy.
Yeah, they're getting
S-
scarcer and scarcer.
yes, yes, yes. Well, I just so let's go Big Finish, and thank you for putting William Russell and Caroline Ford in this. I really appreciate it. Let's do some more. I need more. I need more. I need more because uh I need to be with them through the years. And this would definitely make that possible. Anyway,
So
to say I was glad for the recent unit would be just a smidgen of how glad I am. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so
I'm trying to think
what's
what to rate this.
yeah, what's your final say and score?
Ah, I'm gonna give this. I'm gonna give it 10 sense spheres out of 10 because it is a solid box set. 4 stories, which keeps your attention all the way through each one. So yeah, 10 for me.
And I'm gonna give it 10 solid platinum, you know, solid platinum Florana spheres. I just think that this is I
It-
can't I can't I can't say anything bad about it. I mean, there's
Mhm.
literally nothing bad about it. Like
Uh,
like you can listen
you,
to it and never miss a moment of the time.
you would think with me, I would say something bad being a Dalek related
Sh-
story.
Sure as hell. Yeah. Go on. Come
They
on.
don't, they don't oversaturate with Daleks, so
It's so good.
it's so good.
And apparently while they were making this, one of the guys, uh Dan Hennessy, who is he in the Oh yeah, he was the engineer. He died during the making of this.
All right.
And I was just like, I mean, you just have to, hurry up. Hurry up while these people are still around. I just not no no need to wait. No
No,
need
'cause
to.
we wait and wait, and you maybe get a couple of audios with the people, and then they pass,
Hmm.
which has happened quite a lot these days. It does happen a lot.
Hmm.
So you think, what could have been?
Yeah, it's true.
Thankfully, you do get voice actors what can really do a good imitation
Impression.
of the
Yeah.
actor, but you'll never replace the real people
No.
ever. I mean,
No.
you can get John Coltrane in to do whoever
Yeah.
the Brigadier and all that, and he's got it down to a fine. He really knows how to sound like him. But you'll never replace Nicholas Courtney. You just
No.
think, so come on, guys, let's have a bit more Susan.
Hurry, hurry, hurry.
Mhm.
And also, you know, it, it it's important that you don't oversaturate with the Daleks because it, the one story, I mean, the fact that the Daleks and the Time War is it forces time into disjunctive circles.
Yeah.
You don't have to use you don't have to use them that much, just a little bit, and then you can see their effects. Also, the Time Lords, there are a lot of people who are pretty interested in that. And so the Gallifrey series did a lot with that, and that was really fun. And
Well,
but you don't need to overload with Time Lords either. So like you can just show little effects of these skirmishes back and forth
well,
that already are eating up the time streams. Go on.
this is where the TV failed because of the Time War. All they went on about was the Daleks and Time Lords on the TV.
Yeah,
Uh, Big Finish take the element of the Time War and they put the Daleks and the Time Lords to the back of things and bring all other stuff to the forefront,
yeah,
like all the other aliens what are involved within the Time War,
yeah,
be it Sontarans, be it Sensorites, because it's a Time War, yes, with those two elements, Daleks and Time Lords, but there's other species involved in the wars.
yeah,
And that's the way it should be done, not the way the TV did it, because it was just Dalek and Time Lord. Forget about everything else. But yeah, good box set. I recommend it to anybody who is thinking about buying it or downloading it or whatever.
yeah. So the Orovics were uh you could do something with them. You could always do something with Ogrons. You could do something with and you've got the other Time Lords like Drax and uh um
Ronnie,
Ronnie. Even
Martha,
even if the Ronnie is even if the Ronnie's rights are all tied up or sides, there's enough of a side issue with the rights to that
mhm,
character. You could create one just like her.
yeah.
I mean, you could definitely create one just like her and say that it's her twin sister.
But when they regenerate,
Yeah, like a bi-generation of the Ronnie, you know.
yeah, that's
You
an
got you got
interesting.
you got issues now. I mean,
Yeah.
you got all these issues that you can do
Mm.
with Time Lords that aren't like weren't like actually part of the original series or whatever. I mean, the Timeless Child, you got all that stuff, and you've got all of the bi-generation now, and I mean, apparently that goes backwards and forwards. I don't know, but yeah, that doesn't anyway. Uh, so having Susan around, Susan could be two as well. Susan is but Susan hasn't regenerated yet, and I just hope that, before all is said and done, that they actually give her a regeneration, because now she's actually had a TARDIS with the symbiotic imprint to her, and she's had she's had a role in the Time Lord Matrix. She's had a role in the Time Lord uh leadership. She's had a role in the Time War. These are the things that usually would she talks about staring into the untempered schism. When that one guy was talking about his in this story, this one guy's talking about his brother who went crazy and how sad he was about that whole thing. And at that point, you're like, Susan comforting him, going, "I know what you mean. I've seen that." At that point, you're like, there are no more needs. This is a full-fledged time lady, Time Lord, whatever. This is somebody who needs to regenerate. And if you don't make her regenerate, this is going to be one unhappy fan right here. Anyway, just my theory on the subject. My headcanon. My headcanon is loaded.
Ready to explode.
The wick is short. I tell you the truth. The wick is short. Anyway, I was really glad that you came and joined me on this, Lee.
Anytime we just talking audio drama, I'm always up for audio drama. You know that.
Very good, very, very good. And thank you guys for watching. Please do hit the like button, thumbs up, thumbs down, because just give us a response, because that's the only way that the YouTube algorithm sees us. We're
Something
really,
like
really
that.
small. And also please do share it widely. And then also the other thing is you can follow us on X, but you can also follow Carol Ann Ford now on X.
What's she on next now?
She is. That's just
Cool.
nifty. And Paul McGann, you can arm wrestle him and tell him to probably get on X or whatever, because he doesn't do social media. He's a social media recluse, and that's just too sad for Susie. Anyway, oh, and apparently you're not allowed to call her Susie Foreman. Susie Campbell. She's Susan. I guess I'm the only Susie then. So that susses that one. Anyway, and the other thing is, yeah, if you really like our stuff and you want to know when we're turning stuff out, because we do stuff like twice a week or whatever, except for Christmas Day. We weren't together that day. We just didn't. And so because of that, we'd like you to hit the bell notification button.
No.
To, by all means, receive notifications. And then also we'd like to suggest that you join us if you want. Get a hold of Lee. And all you gotta have is be 18 or over, because I'm a potty mouth, and sometimes watch really, really gruesome stuff. And it can be really scary, and have a device that has a camera and a microphone, and get Zoom, and just watch what we watch. That's it. That's all for us. Thank you. Happy New Year 2023. I'm staying in 2023. Lee is actually moving into 2024 in an hour. So yeah.
In about 2 hours, it'll be 2024 here.
2024. I'm staying at 2023.
There's still fireworks going off outside right at this moment. Well, I don't know why. I think they've jumped the gun.